Hello, everyone. This is Bennick, and welcome to another episode of Elm Avenue, where sex and business meet. If you're new to the show, this is the show where we interview adult industry workers to educate people about the adult industry. We hope you enjoy today's show. Hello, everybody. Today we are very fortunate and very lucky to have with us Sammy Brooks, a very popular webcam model who will soon be launching her site, SammyBrooksXXX.com. Sammy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here and talk to you.
So I guess the big news, we were just talking about it briefly, is you're going to be going to the Exotica show in New Jersey, right?
Yes, so excited. It is going to be this show. I went to the one in LA and I was my first show. So this one's going to be a lot bigger because I'll have my own booth there and have some sexy girls at the booth with me having fun.
And you told me you did something interesting, at least at the LA one. You got a special costume, I would say, for this. What did you do?
I did. I had my glitter goddess with eye candy. I call her my glitter goddess. She actually paints my boobs, and so I just walk around topless through the whole show, and it's pretty sexy.
How long is doing that makeup? I always wonder, because I've seen some of these girls before that have it. Does it take a long time?
You know, she is fabulous. She free draws. She takes a eyeliner pen and she free draws all like down my neck, around my boobs, and then puts it on maybe at the most 40 minutes for her. I mean, she's amazing. Simply amazing. Yeah, she's going to do, what I want to do is fly her out for a photo shoot and do like a whole body glitter paint for the ADMs. That'd be sexy.
And so tell us, so you went to the first show in LA, and now you're going back all the way to New Jersey. So you're flying across the country.
Yeah.
And why go to these shows as a cam model? What's the draw for you, or why would you want to go?
Well, the draw for me, especially now, is I'm taking not only just doing webcamming, but I'm growing a business. So Sammy Brooks is also going to be SammyBrooksXXX.com, which I'm going to be streaming my own video, and I'm going to be hiring my own webcam models and taking care of them very well.
So you are, yeah. So I mean, if people don't, take what you said out of context, you're going to be building your own streaming site.
Streaming with the girls, and not only that, my main focus is actually to work with the girls. I don't want to leave the girls hanging, wondering how do I turn on my camera, how do I stream. I'm actually going to fly to my girls and train them, work personally with them, so they can, be the best webcam model and just, make as much money as they can.
And it sounds like you must have learned a lot, because you've been only doing this for like a year and a half, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a go-getter.
So and then the thing that shocked me, and I didn't know, is that you're 40 years old.
Yeah, just turned 40.
And then the crazy thing is, one of your inspirations for doing all this and working so hard is you have a son or daughter?
Daughter in college.
In college, and I said I find that absolutely unbelievable. In the first place, you don't look that old.
Love it.
And so, okay, I want to step back and see. So you started webcamming and doing all this, but what were you doing before you even got into this?
Oh, this is good. Let's see. Where do we start?
What was your life?
Oh my Lanta. Freaking very simple. Let's go back I'd say it was about 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
I bartended for 12 years. Same restaurant and bar.
Okay.
Loved it. I miss that place and I miss everybody there. And I was one of the, most popular bartenders. It was great, fabulous fun. Things in my life changed, and I had this brilliant idea of buying a tanning salon.
Okay.
In a small town. So I bought a tanning salon. I won Tanning Salon of the Year award. It was fabulous. Had so much fun with it. And even got lots of my customers from the bar to come to town that have never even seen a tanning bed.
You must be a really good salesperson.
They're like, damn, we don't see you at working room. We gotta come over to this tanning salon and buy a tanning package. It was perfect. And now they watch me online. Up close and personal now. Anyway, so I had the tanning salon just over a year, and with the economy and everything, and me being single, one income, well, things didn't really go my way. So it was either close the doors or keep it open, lose my house, lose everything. And so I was like, well, I guess we gotta figure out what to do. So I closed the doors, And my first thought was go back to bartending.
Okay.
You know, $8-9 an hour plus my tips, or take what God gave me, my looks, and go shake it and make some money.
Well, how did you even? So I mean, okay, I saw you had like two options, right? Go back to bartending or this other option. How did you even know, like, shaking what you got was even an option? Did you know people who were doing this already, or did someone suggest it?
The webcamming, yeah. So this is before that, about 8 months before I started webcamming.
Okay.
I actually just went down. I went down to downtown Seattle, and I actually Googled. I was like, okay, strip clubs in Seattle. Because, I mean, I've been to strip clubs. I'm a very sexual person, even though I'm just now in webcamming. And I love watching women. Yes, I was like, shit, I can do that. Let me tell you what, that shit is not as easy as
I've messed around on polls just for the shits and giggles, and I know it's not easy.
Well, it's not even that, but just the fact of getting up on stage. Oh my gosh.
So did you audition?
Well, you just basically walk in and they look you up and down, tell you to take your clothes off. I'm like, okay, you're hired. And so it was pretty easy.
Okay.
Easiest
That's the audition process.
Yeah, they're like, oh, all right, those tits, that ass looks good. Okay, you can watch tonight. And so my first day on stage, so this is my first taste of pretty much, being in the adult industry, besides buying DVDs. I get up on stage, and it's the day after a Seahawks game. And mind you, I'm 100 miles away from the town I live in, so I'm not thinking anybody's going to come in. I'm up on stage, and I'm against the mirror, and I turn around, and my jaw dropped. 4 guys sitting in my front row were my regulars from the sports bar. I froze. I was like, and I tried to cover up my body parts on stage.
That must have been quite the seductive dance.
Oh boy, yeah, it was pretty entertaining. The manager, she's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "I can't do this." And I ran off the stage, went in the dressing room.
You're kidding? That's like one of the worst things that can happen for your first experience. So you didn't even finish the dance.
No, and I hid for about an hour, and one of the boys requested me, and I go out there, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
So why? Okay, so I mean, you knew you were going to be naked on stage. Why did it make it a bigger difference if it was someone who knew you?
I think it's that whole the idea of you know them on a different level, and when it's your first, just like the first time somebody noticed me on webcam. It'd been long enough to where it didn't bother me, but it's like that. Oh my gosh, this person actually knows me. They just saw my vagina. So it was just a surreal moment where it's like, am I really doing this? What am I doing? But I made such good money that I wanted to keep doing it. But the only thing in my mind was, there's something more. There's always something bigger and better. And no offense to any adult nightclubs, I don't like having to approach the men and grinding and I like to be sexy, sultry, and do it my way.
And so it sounds like you came back then after that first night.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's where we left off. I'm like, oh, I ran out, and then I'm not doing this again. So you did go back.
I did. I went back and I sat with the guys and actually turned into a big joking party. They ended up coming out twice a month watching me dance, and it was fabulous. I ended up doing a few bachelor parties for the guys too.
And so how long did you dance there for?
I danced at a few clubs. I even went so far as I went down to Vegas, tried that for a week. That was fun and interesting. Vegas is the best place to dance ever. I had so much fun down there. And
why is it better than Seattle?
Well, Washington State, the clubs there, you cannot serve any drinks or alcohol. And so when the guys go into the clubs, they like to relax, have a drink, sit with the girls. And Vegas is so different where they have bottle service. The girls can sit down, have drinks and dinner. Oregon's the same way. And so I had fun dancing in Oregon also. Yeah. So it was, Washington should probably change me also. No offense, I love Washington.
So you did that for, so you danced at a few different clubs, you tried other clubs. So about how long into it were you like, okay, I want to try looking at something else?
I would say it was probably about my 4th or 5th month.
Okay. Wow.
I just knew there was something. It was like, okay, I was doing so well at dancing, had so many regular customers, and I just knew I could take it to another level, a safer level, and make more money. And so I just got on the computer and I Googled sexy women making money.
That's all you got. Sexy. So for advice for anyone looking to do research, sexy women looking to make money. And what showed up?
I threw in there, I'm making money at home. That's what it was.
Okay.
And then all these webcam
Ads,
sites.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, what the hell? I'm like, okay, let me try this out. And so I clicked on one, and I worked for them for a little while.
So it sounds like you didn't really hesitate. So it's
oh, no, I had a house payment. Like, I got a kid that's just graduated high school. She's got to go off to college. I'm like, no, I got to get this shit done right now. And I sure as hell was not going to go meet some man and just,
rely on some other guy. So,
right?
So I'm thinking like, okay, you know, tanning salon, you closed that done, and then you had the choice of going back to bartending. Were you making a lot more money doing, you know, dancing than the bartending?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. And when you say money is good in dancing, like what's good money? Like I don't have a concept of what's good and what's not. Like
a good day for me. I mean, I won't put down other dancers or anything, but it's just that certain part of the industry can be very dirty.
Yeah.
And I was very strict and very clean, and I just didn't like to be touched inappropriately. And so I was a very clean dancer, and I would, you know, on a bad day, $150, $200. You know, on a good day, you know, it's $500, $600, $700.
And how many hours would that be?
Oh gosh, I would work anywhere from 6 to 12 hours.
In one session? 12 hours?
Yes, that was determined.
Apparently, man.
I'm ready to make.
Okay, so I can see even that, like even sustaining that kind of level, that's also tiring too. Because anytime you deal with people, person to person, it's frustrating.
Well, not only that, but damn, you put like 50 women together. Holy crap! That's a stressful day in itself.
So,
I worked at Hooters before, and there was like in Seattle, and there was freaking, I think we had 62 girls on our roster, and oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine it's not the best camaraderie.
No, the shorts are cute, but let me tell you what, knock that out.
So you decide to start researching. You find a webcam site. Like, what were you looking for something in particular? Did you look at shows? Like, what kind of research did you do when you decided to join?
I would just go to all these different sites and look at their model contracts and look at what they offered, the payouts, everything else. And then I would go on and I would check, you know, look at the models, and then I would actually email them and say, hey, I'm thinking about joining, you know, how do you like the site, yada, yada, yada. And the best feedback I got was for streaming. And so, because the first one I tried, I wasn't happy with. I didn't get any customer service. I mean, if I had questions, it was, and that's my whole point of me doing my own site with the girls, is I never got help. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And I'm like, okay, anybody can turn on a webcam, but if you don't have personality, sexiness, kind of, just great overall attitude for everything, you're not going to make me money. And so when I first started, I was like scared and nervous, and I sat in front of my desk at my house in Washington, and I'm sitting there, and I turned the camera on, and I was like,
yeah, it sounds like you just jumped right in, so you weren't even...
You jump right into it.
Did you look at other people's shows just to see what they did, or no? You just said, oh, I'm just going to try it.
You know, not when I first started, because I just like to be so unique in me. It's hard for me to watch somebody else and do anything that they do, because I just bring out me. And it sells pretty good. I'm doing great.
So that first site that you were on, how did it go?
It did okay, but I didn't get paid on time, and then they didn't even pay me all of my money, and so then I was like, you know, I can't afford this.
Why didn't they pay you all your money?
That is still a good question. I still have never received a response, and that was a year and a half ago.
Wow.
Yeah, so I figured, you know what, whatever, they missed out on a good model.
So you decided to search everywhere. So you said that a lot of people said good things about streaming, which I also hear a lot.
Yeah,
so was it night and day between these two services?
Oh, completely. Because when I found Stream, I'd actually worked under a studio, and I was on Craigslist, and I was like, webcam modeling, higher payouts, more traffic, you know, whatever I could find. And so the studio that I'm under pops up, and I was like, oh, well, let me check this out. Sent the guy an email. Within 10 minutes, he called me. We had an hour-long conversation, hit it off like we were family, and been working for him ever since.
So you started interesting with the studio, because I know some people who do it on their own.
Right.
And so why did you choose to go with the studio?
Well, I had no idea.
Okay.
I didn't know. And if I would have known at the time, I actually would have went through the company because you get a higher payout.
Yeah.
But when you go through a studio, if your studio owner is good, they take the time to walk you through everything.
Yeah.
And, if I need anything, he always answers the phone, always sends back an email. I mean, there's always a response. And StreamMate's fabulous, but they have so many girls that they work with.
It's hard to get that kind of attention.
Oh my gosh, yes. But you know what? If any girls are wanting, to go that route, StreamMate's the absolute best, for sure. Definitely.
And okay, so you did StreamMate. You're on there. What was your? I mean, I guess let's go back to your first cam show. Like, was it what you expected? What did you do? What did guys want? Like, because it's different than dancing, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. Let's say it's a little naughtier. Okay, it's a whole lot more naughtier. My first show, I remember I turned on the camera and I'm sitting there. By this time I'd had like a month and a half experience but my first show on StreamMate, I'm sitting there and I think I had on like a black shirt. I don't know. Anyway, I turn it on and I'm ready. I'm just smiling. And all of a sudden I get these guys coming in. And I'm like, holy shit. And I noticed the traffic was huge on StreamMate compared to where I was before.
Yeah.
And so these guys are coming in, but they knew I was new. And this is what a lot of webcam models don't. I mean, they know. When you're new, they're going to try to get away with everything they can. Little shits. Those are the bad sex monsters. And so I'm sitting there and this guy goes, okay, bend over and stick a toy in your ass. I'm like, excuse me? I'm like, for one, you're not paying me yet. I said, two, I'm not going to do that yet. I said, you haven't even taken the time to get to know me. He goes, hey, you're on a sex website. I don't need to get to know you.
Touche.
And then I was like, oh shit, good point. So it was an interesting day. I think I did my first day. It was like a 4 or 5 hour shift. And I started off, my first week I made almost $20 an hour. So it was pretty good. I was like,
how did that compare to dancing for hourly rate?
oh my gosh, dancing. Well, you figure sometimes I'd work 6-8 hours, only take home $100-200.
It's less.
So, yeah, especially when you're paying, the club just to be there. It's like you're renting yourself to be there, and it's like,
I know there's a lot of fees too.
Oh my lamp.
So were you dancing and then trying out camming on the side? So you weren't doing cam. Okay, so it wasn't like you went, I'm gonna do this. You just say, I'm gonna stop with the dancing and just do this full time.
No, I couldn't do it until I actually started building up the clientele and the money started coming in. And yeah.
Did you use your customers at the dance club say, hey, I'll also do this side?
I did.
Oh, so you did use that kind of promotion too. And would you get guys that check you out or watch your shows from the strip club?
Yes, because they wanted to see me on a different level.
Yeah, it's totally different.
More intimate side, because you can't really be intimate in the club. And so they were like, oh, okay. And then when I would go back, they're like, and I wouldn't know if it was him, because anybody can use any username that they want to.
Yeah.
And so I went back. I remember the first conversation. I was sitting there, and he goes, you put on an interesting show. And I thought he was talking about me just coming off stage. I was like, oh, thank you. And I'm kind of breathing hard. I'm like, yeah, that was a good one. He goes, no, I was watching you last night. I was like, oh, shit.
That's kind of freaky, too. I was watching you last night.
Like, all right, you peeping Tom.
I looked in your window.
Oh, my gosh, it's hilarious.
So, okay, so you were doing both, and then you're kind of comparing. I guess, what were you thinking in the back of your mind? Were you thinking you were going to do one or the other, or were you thinking you were just going to do both?
No, totally. I knew once I started building clientele on the webcam that I was completely done with dancing. I was going to be done within a few months because, for one, I'm a determined person, and two, my daughter in school and everything. I'm going where I need to go, and I didn't realize it was going to be my niche, and I was going to go as far as I am and become as popular as I'm becoming, and it's crazy. And then not only that, but I'm going to do my first girl vid, really?
I know, that's exciting. Well, how about so how do you build a clientele? Because I know any webcam model who might be watching this, who's starting out, or even, if I was just wondering if I were a girl and happened to do this, how do you build a client base? I mean, huh?
Personality. That's all I can say to any new girl and any models that I actually train and I put through the StreamMate, put through to the studio. I tell them, be as friendly and fun as you can possibly be, because the men I mean, this is how I look at it from a guy's standpoint. You know, I'd say 80% of my guys, they're married or they have girlfriends. The last thing they want to do is turn on their webcam and look at a girl sitting there.
Not making any money.
Okay.
You guys gonna pay me?
Right? It's like, oh God, I'm at work again. It's like, this is the most fun, exciting, lucrative business a woman could ever have. That is open with their sexuality. You know, and everybody can put limitations on what they do. Me, I'm pretty open. You know, I have lots of men with fetishes. I do so many different things. And I go with it and I have fun. And when I turn on that camera, you know, it's Sammy time. It's time to shine and make these men happy and forget about all the bullshit at home, regardless if it's arguing with wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You know, it's just, and I have lots of women. I have a huge women following a woman now. And so it's just, the biggest and best advice, just be yourself and be fun. It's bottom line.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Because if you hate your job, then do not start with that.
So, I mean, and I'll ask you this question because I'm curious to hear your answer. Is webcamming just about sex?
No.
See, no. Because like porn, if you think about the porn industry, right? I feel like, and that's what I find is you know, people put webcamming into just kind of like porn. But how do you see it?
I see it as building a relationship with lots and lots of different people. It's so diverse in so many ways. Anybody can go make a video and sell it and say they've done porn. Yeah. Anybody can do it. Anybody. But it takes a certain kind of person to be able to get in front of a camera and entice these men and women and build a relationship with them. I mean, it's insane, intense, it's fun, it's sexy. But I mean, I have guys that will turn on their camera and I'll sit there for an hour and we just have the best conversation. You know, and then I've got guys that turn on their camera and they want me to be their porn star. And I am porn Sammy and I'm going to town.
But what percentage would you say are the ones who want the relationship, or I imagine your regulars, you know, after a while, it's not just about, you know, the porn Sammy, right?
No. It's about, I mean, it's about them, you know, having their fun, getting excited, enjoying their time with me, but it's also about getting to know each other. Yeah. You know, like I know, you know, some of my customers, I know their dogs' names. I even know half of their wives' names. And, you know, and they know so many intimate details about my life. Mm-hmm. They know when I move. They know exactly what city I live in, only because you build that rapport with those men and women. And it's fun. I love it. I would not change or take back anything that has happened at all.
Do you have to draw lines in terms of, like, you know, because I figure the thing with building relationships is I think some guys might not see the relationship the same way as a model might, right? So
totally.
How do you maintain that? Because, you know, I can understand how, you know, new girls or some girls who get into this want to maintain, okay, you know, this is my camming life, this is not my real life, whereas, you know, they don't want to share where they're living or what they do or certain aspects. So, but it sounds like you're very open. So what would you suggest to people?
I mean, for the new girls that are doing this, I mean, of course, you never let anybody know where you live. I mean, you don't give out that personal information. I draw the line with, I always tell everybody that I'm becoming, you know, close with, listen, this is our, you know, fantasy relationship. This is going to be our life together as long as we want it to be. But I do draw the line and say, I'm not actually your girlfriend in real life because, you know, just,
so you don't lead them on that path either, right?
No. I mean, I will be their best friend till the end of earth. I mean, forever and ever. But when it comes to, you know, oh, do you escort? You know, can I meet you outside here? I have sex? No, you can't. I mean, this is my business. This is my life, and that's where I draw the line, for sure.
and models should know that they'll get those types of requests, right?
Oh my gosh, I think I get asked if I escort. Oh, I don't know, probably more than 50 times a day. Even on my Twitter, I get DM'd all the time.
Oh, I thought like public ones.
Well, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's so funny. Some of the things that you hear, and yeah. I won't go into detail on some.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
But it's fun. I mean, I must say that I made the smartest decision to just pack up and leave Seattle and come to California.
Why did that make a big difference Because like I thought it'd be good if you were dancing and you had those clientele to kind of market to. So and if you're
Right.
doing it from home, I mean, why would location make a difference?
For me, because I knew that there was still another level.
Okay.
Once when I was in Seattle, and my whole thing was, I love Seattle. It's a beautiful city. I lived in Washington State for 35 years, but I wanted sunshine, palm trees, and I just told my daughter, I said, listen, let's move to a nicer spot. We'll take your, move your college and or not move the college.
That's pretty impressive.
Exactly.
You can move mountains and colleges.
Hell yeah! And so we went through different states. I looked at Florida, but then the humidity was going to be way too much for me. And then I found San Diego, and I was like, perfect. And her school was here and offered the same program. And I said, that's it. And so I said, we're moving in 2 months, and you're either coming with me or not. And so packed up everything, drove 24 and a half straight hours.
Your machine.
Oh boy, with a pug and a cat in the car.
Yeah, I see your cat there's cleaning himself in the back.
Oh, damn. Damn pussy, always getting clean.
That's funny. So when you decided to make that move, were you doing dancing and camming? And you're like, I'm just going to do that down there?
No, I quit dancing. Oh my gosh. I quit dancing a year ago.
Oh, so not that long. And so about 6 months after you started camming.
Yeah. Then I was done. I was tired of driving an hour and a half to go to work at the club. I was just tired of not knowing if I was actually going to make money that day. Because there would be some days I'd be there for 8 hours and I'd make $50.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And you still have to pay the club, too.
Right. Yes. Which is ridiculous. So, and with webcamming, every time I turn my camera on, I know I'm making money. I know I'm having fun with these guys. And it's more of a interaction. They come on there and I have fun. I don't just sit there and, hello, let's start playing with ourselves. I put on a show.
Yeah.
Got music going, I'm dancing, I'm having fun. I even snuck outside when I took my laptop. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sneaking out in my, hoping to Lord none of my neighbors came outside. And I'm out there running around naked in front of the camera.
That definitely makes for an exciting show.
It does, it really does. I'm going to be taking it to a whole new level. Especially when I launch the site. It's going to be insane. Completely insane. And it's going to be a money saver.
I'm kind of curious. How do you what did you tell your daughter? Because she's older, right? So it's not like, did she know you danced and then the webcamming? Were you pretty open with her?
Oh my gosh, we're best friends. We are so open with each other about everything. I said I'm not going to be dancing anymore. Told her Mom's going to make as much money as she can so we can survive. And I said I'm going to start webcamming. She's like, what the hell's that? And I said, well, I'm going to be getting naked in front of the camera. She goes, really, Mom? She goes, that means everybody in Washington's going to see you.
Not just Washington, potentially the whole world.
I said, it's kind of all over the world. I said, I've got people in Saudi Arabia that see me. She goes, what?
That's Saudi Arabia.
She goes, oh, whatever. She goes, just don't talk about your job to me. I was like, okay.
Wow, she seems like that's pretty interesting.
She's so open, and she's the absolute best artist. She's fabulous. I'll definitely be selling a lot of her work on my website. For sure.
What would you say if she came to you and said she wanted to do webcam modeling?
I've actually talked to her about it before. I said, is it something that, you even think about? And just in case, that did come up, I wanted to kind of approach it first so that way I would know what to say and how to approach. I was like, let me just bring it up. And she goes, that is the most disgusting thing I could ever do.
It's pretty funny when the parents do something much worse than you imagine kids would be.
Right.
Kids are the ones sending all these sex messages, right? These sex text messages and naked photos and getting into trouble. But it's their mom. You outdo her.
Yeah, I'm the MILF on the webcam. MILF gone wild.
Was it ever scary to leave the dancing behind, or at that time, since you knew? No, it wasn't. So you were making just as much money, if not more.
Oh, way more. And now way more.
And it was enough to move your family, to support your house. So I read these sites, and they say they make a lot of money, and I always I'm skeptical or cynical about a lot of these things. Sometimes I think it's just marketing speak, but $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month. I mean, can they make that much? And it's crazy because I talk to porn actresses, right? You think, oh, porn star, right? They're mainstream porn star. They're not even making that much money
No,
now.
they're not. When I went to LA to Exotica, this is what's so funny. I had a couple uh, companies come up and they approached me, and one person had come up and said, "Hey, I'd really like to shoot you in a boy-girl scene. I'll pay you $500 for 8 hours." And I just stood there. I was like, "Oh, really?" And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "It'd be great. You'd cash that day." I said, "Oh, nice." I said, "Well, let me tell you something." I said, I said, "I make 1,000 plus a day." I said, "So that's not going to work for me." I said, "Not only that," I said, "I can't take back the fact that some dude just went to town on me." Because I'm not. That's the one line I'm not going to cross, is I'm not going to do boy girl vids, because eventually I might meet somebody, want to settle down. I can explain webcamming and girl videos a whole lot easier than a bunch of men.
Yeah, well, that's a good line to not even cross, right? If you know
Yeah,
that ahead of
so,
time.
because I'm doing so well with what I'm doing that I don't need to, cross over into that bridge. I don't want to be known as Sammy the porn star. I mean, I love the porn industry. Absolutely have the most respect for every man and woman that's out there, because they work very hard.
Yeah, that's tough.
It is. It's very tough right now, and that's why a lot of the adult stars are turning into webcam.
I know, it's how they can make. It's the only way they can survive.
Yeah, and it's so hard because it's so different. Because when you're filming, you're interacting with that person, and so you're used to that one-on-one, and you're listening to your directors and everything else. But when you get on the webcam, sometimes I'll have over 200 people in my room.
It's crowd management.
Oh my!
And
gosh.
a lot of people all want attention too, so it's.
Why? Yes, they do. They want first-hand pop attention. They're crazy. I love it though. If it wasn't for my sex monsters, I would. Oh, my pet name for my.
Yeah, I caught that, and I did go to Lady Gaga concert. And she doesn't have sex monsters, I know.
Isn't that funny? Because the first time I said that, somebody says, "Oh my gosh, you love Lady Gaga." I said, "Well, I actually do." I said, "But I didn't put two and two together because it was my actual first day of webcamming." And I said, "Oh, I have the perfect pet name. You're all my sex monsters."
I was like, wait a minute, that Gaga stole that from me.
I know. That's so funny. It's the cutest thing, though. I love it. They love it.
So StreamMate sounds like it was going really well. You're making $1,000 a day. Why not just keep it up, and why even keep growing it bigger? Like, why this idea to start your own site at some point?
Well, I don't want the girls to think, "Oh my God, I'm gonna start webcamming and make $1,000 a day." Now that's I gotta work.
You gotta work hard. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I do, and I have to put in my hours to make that money.
And it wasn't overnight, right? I think that's the biggest thing.
Hell no. Oh my gosh, no. And I work every day because my rent tripled moving to California. And then starting my own website and just with my daughter's college. So I try to work every single day, even if it's 2 to 7 hours. I still turn on that camera and do what I can. So for the girls that are starting or really wanting to do this, you have to focus and you have to put your time in and build that clientele. Because if you don't put your time in, it's not even worth doing it. It really isn't.
Yeah, it's not something you can just do as a part-time hobby if you expect to do anything.
Yeah,
right?
one day a week. Well, let's hope you make $100.
Yeah.
So you got to put your time in and really dedicate yourself to it. And if you have boyfriends, all you new webcam models better have a very open relationship because it is. I've seen so many girls. It doesn't work out too well if their men are not.
Really,
open.
even if they're not doing, because it's not like I can understand for sure. Doing a boy-girl scene, right? Because that complicates things. But webcamming is typically, they're not having a physical relationship with anyone.
No, I have a girlfriend of mine in particular. Started her out. She was doing pretty good. And he would stand at the door and listen, and he would get jealous. He couldn't even hear the other people on the other side. It was just her talking and the way she was interacting. It's her fantasy time. Playing and tasting these guys, and he actually picked up the computer and destroyed it.
Really?
Yeah. So
it's understandable. Yeah, the way you, because that's a role. Not say you guys are pretending, but that you have to get in that mindset if you want to do well, right? You're selling the experience.
You are selling yourself. This is me. I'm selling Sammy to my all my sex monsters, and they are coming in and enjoying every minute. And they can tell if you're not, like, even when I'm tired, they're like, oh my gosh, you need to log off. You're looking tired. I mean, they can tell, and they're like, are you okay today? Because even when I went through some family issues with my father, it's like you can just see on your face. I mean, the camera does not hide at all.
It's hard in person. It's really hard, right? And
it is. Yeah, when it's live. It's live.
Even more fascinating. I mean, from what you've described, it sounds like as much as they say men are so driven by sex and visual things, that the relationship. I mean, here the case of the boyfriend getting angry. It wasn't like she was doing anything physical. It was more like just the thought. I mean, it's funny to see. It's not just about sex at the core.
Right. I mean, it's one of those things, and another reason why I'm single is because I have so many goals that I need to reach for myself that I don't want to be involved right now with anybody. And so, and just, it would take the right person to be able to handle a relationship with me because I do work so much at my job. It'd have to be someone in the industry almost just to understand, if they turn on the camera and watch me, they get jealous. I mean, I went on a couple dates with somebody, and he goes, I can't handle it.
Did you tell them right up front, or did they?
Yes, I'm very upfront because I don't want it to come out later. And right when I first meet somebody, well, I can tell when the right time is to say something. But if I'm out on a date and there's couples, I'm bartender. That's what I tell people, just until I know that's the right time, because I know exactly how the women are going to act, and they won't be my friend anymore.
I find it funny. So I never thought about it from that angle. So you're saying when you tell other women what you do, I mean, do they just look at you funny, or do you get some reactions? I think, if anything, if a guy told me that, he's a porn star, every guy would be like, oh, that's awesome, man. Right. Like, tell me more, right? Wouldn't a girl be fascinated too? Tell me. And it's not like a webcam model is totally different. Like, you're not doing guys on camera, right, for your stuff.
But their mentality, which I've lost a few girlfriends over, which is fine, because I'm still going to be their friend no matter what. But their mentality is, oh, my man's going to pay and watch you.
Really? That's the first thought.
Yeah.
So it's still insecurity at the end of the day.
And that's the thing, if you're secure with yourself and your relationship is secure, which I've told guys that I've dated, I'm like, you know what, if you want to turn on a computer, that's the safest cheating sex you could ever have in your entire life. I'm like, go ahead. Because if I'm tired or if I got to work, I'm like,
go ahead. To do with it.
Watch the girls. Go make out a couple. I don't give a shit.
But then I find it fascinating that girls, their first thought would be, oh, my boyfriend or my husband's going to watch you. Like,
well, I think a lot of it is, I mean, not to sound, I don't know, modest or whatever, but I think a lot of it, I mean, my looks have a lot to do with it, personality, because I'm like a guy. I love to go hang out with the guys. So when I go out, you're going to see me with the guys before you do women, because I just can't seem to find girlfriends
that are comfortable with that.
Exactly. And so, I have more guy friends, and that's another issue guys have with me. Like, you have too many guy friends. I'm like, oh well, I'll just keep them. You can go on.
So that's another good thing for any potential model to think that it does put a challenge or strain.
Oh, it does. It completely, totally does. I mean, lots of models, they're afraid to tell their families. And my family knows what I do, because I just they're like, well, how are you making money? How are you? I said, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's hard to lie.
Oh my gosh, especially what if a family member actually.
Yeah, you even got all embarrassed when your bar patrons came to your first script. Can you imagine your family? Yeah.
Imagine one of my family members. Well, here's the interesting one: is my daughter's high school friends, the guys. They've come on to my site.
Oh,
yeah. I had a private it was while I was working, and. The one kid, he says, oh my gosh, he goes, I've been waiting to see those tits since high school.
It's gotta be awkward.
That was probably one of the most awkward online moments, was because I knew exactly who he was because he put his typing in private, and I about fell over. I was best friends with his family. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it just you just let it go.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's on the internet. I mean, I think you're well aware that once it's there, it's there.
Oh,
right?
Once it's there, it's there. Once it's there, it's like when you send a text, it's gone. Yeah. So I'm okay with it though. I mean, I'm so comfortable with myself and my life and where I'm going that I just don't care what people think.
Let's talk more about where you're going, because you mentioned you had a lot of goals.
I do.
So
Yes.
where did the like when you get into the camming? What was your when you got into this industry? So you quit dancing. Like what was your goal? Where did you see yourself going?
Saw myself getting out of debt and just being able to pay my bills. I
Okay.
mean, seriously, just
So that was the first step, right?
oh my gosh, first and foremost step. It's like I didn't even know what it was to go to the mall anymore. It was like I was having to buy cheap makeup from Walmart, not my nice MAC makeup, and so I was just it was just little things. I mean, that might sound, catty and whatever, but
No, I
just
understand.
yeah, it's like wow, I don't even know what going out to dinner is like, and so that's why I said, that's it. I just got to bust my ass, make as much money as I can, and get back to where I was, get back to Sammy and my normal life, and, just, and be happy and, yeah, have fun. So my goal is, I accomplished that goal, accomplished the goal of getting out of dreary Seattle
Hmm.
and moving down to the sunshine and palm trees. So that was my next goal. Now, my next is my website, getting it launched and working for myself. I'm bringing on the absolute best team of girls for the internet. I mean, it's going to be crazy but fun. And here's the best part: is my two top models are going because I'm actually paired up with also MFS Interactive. So you've got two webcam companies. So
Okay.
you can have Speedverse and MSF Interactive. And so we're going to work together. So our girls are going to be able to stream on both sites.
Yeah.
So it's going to be better profitability for them, and the two top models of the sites, or of two girls out of both sites, we're going to take them to Italy and Ibiza for 3 weeks, and we're going to stream live video in Europe in May.
So you're doing like almost like events type stuff
Yes.
with your shows.
Yep. It's going to be, and we're going to stream live for 3 weeks in Europe, and we're going to have webcams everywhere. We'll be out at nightclubs with the webcam. It's going to be crazy.
So,
My girls are going to get bonuses. My girls, they're going to get recognition. It's not going to be, okay, here's your 25, 35%, good luck, have fun. It's like, no, these girls are going to be my babies.
well, I mean, I have to go back and ask, like, why not just keep doing, keep going what you're doing? You're doing well on StreamMate. Why push it even further? I mean, it's a lot more work, a lot of investment you have to put in, the risk, right?
Yeah, huge risk.
Why take the risk?
Because that's me. I cannot sit at a level pace. I have to always
Push
go
the level.
bigger, and yes, I push that envelope sometimes a little too much. But my life wouldn't be where it is if I didn't.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be going to Jersey in the morning and going to Exotica if I wasn't going to push it. This is not the perfect time for me to do it. I mean, financially and everything. But I said, you know what, go big or go home. And I've had such a huge response. I mean, I've got a lube company that I'm going to be spokesmodeling for, Simply Slick, and it's just huge. Everything, pushing that envelope is a good thing. It really is. It might be a little stressful sometimes, but it's the best thing I've ever done, for sure.
And what are you looking for? It sounds like you're kind of choosing the girls that work on your site. So, like, what kind of stuff? You mentioned, like, personality, probably looks, and some other things. What other things do you look for someone to work on your site?
I've had lots of girls. I get countless emails on my StreamMate account and then also on Twitter, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, I want to do a show with you," because their popularity hasn't built up yet, and which of course it helps if I show up and do the show. But I'm very picky because there's girls that you can work with that want to do it because they want to have fun and learn, and then there's girls that are all about the money.
Okay.
Girls that are all about the money, I don't have anything to do with, just because I put so much time and effort into building me that I want somebody that wants the same thing. So that's what I'm looking for. I'll go on, and if they say, "Oh, come do a show with me," and I'll watch it, and I'm point blank blunt, and I just say to them, "I can't work with you simply because the way you do things is not appropriate for me." And no offense, I want the girls to look good. I want them to bring out their sexiness and bring those guys in. And if some girl, you either have it or you don't. You gotta have a passion for it, for sure.
Well, it comes through. I mean, it helps them, and then you want your brand to represent that.
Yeah. Nothing worse than having your name go through the mud because someone makes the wrong decisions.
So during this transition time, when you launch the site, will you still be? I mean, I know you're on StreamMate now. Will you still be using StreamMate and doing that?
Oh, yeah, because I've got, there's always so many new customers that are on there, and I'm so well known on there that, I don't want to give it up. I mean, they've been there this whole time with me, and I wouldn't be where I'm going right now if it wasn't for them.
And do they take issue? Because I know there's certain sites that, they have strict rules, or you can't promote other sites, or you can't send out links. Like,
and I can't promote my site. I can't even promote Twitter on there.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they were that strict.
Yeah, I had posted it one day. I said, "Oh, you can follow me on Twitter." Within 10 minutes, I got a text message from the studio saying, "You need to take that off ASAP." And I was like, "Oh shit, okay." Like, wow.
Really?
I know. I mean, with my site, I'm not going to care if the girls talk about their Twitter because they're bringing in more customers. Go promote yourself.
Well, you want them to develop that following, so when they do go on live, they could be like, "Hey, I'm on here, right?" And
yeah, exactly.
It's funny how I see a lot of sites try to exercise so much control when it's unnatural. When it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, you can put a link in there, like, hey, or you could just tell them, "Hey, you guys, you could follow me at here," right?
Right. I mean, I think it would be smart if at least let girls do their Twitter on there, because then you're tweeting to all these thousands and thousands
The
of
link
followers.
to them, yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. And I do. And they don't say anything, but I just can't put it on the page while I'm working. Like, put them. Yeah. I'll keep them happy. Keep them happy, and then I'll do my own thing.
And how much time have you put into getting this new site up? Because it sounds like it's not. I mean, I know some girls just do like a membership site, which is very common, but it sounds like what you're building is kind of like even bigger than that.
Well, it's going to be huge. I mean, we're going to be streaming live. I'll be doing girl shows with my models, the ones that are comfortable with doing it. It's going to be very different. I don't want to give away all of the good stuff yet.
For sure.
There's lots of secrets that I want to share once we launch. It's just going to be the most interesting, fun site. But time and money has been a huge issue because it's not me. My developers and my designers, I can't thank them enough. I mean, I could kiss the ground they walk on. They are fabulous, absolutely fabulous. And they're going to be doing sites for the other girls too if they want to venture on their own too. And I just got lucky enough to I went on Google when I first moved down here, and I went classifieds for San Diego because I was getting tired of Craigslist.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and so this findit.org came up, and it's a newer, smaller version of what Craigslist is.
Okay.
And so I got on there, and I was trying to post one of my pictures it was for not a TV show, but it was for some modeling gig. And so I was like trying to post my picture, and the owner actually found it, and he goes, "You're the first one I've actually seen a real picture of on here because people are using little icons."
Yeah.
And he goes, "That is freaking awesome." So we hit it off totally. And I said, "Hey," I'm interested in finding someone to build my website, but I didn't think that I was going to go where I'm at. So I met him. He put me in touch with the right person. I started at ground level with these guys. I'm very, very lucky. So I'm their baby, and they're my fabulous team that will never leave me. Never.
And how much does it cost so other people get it? I mean, is it a lot of money?
Oh, it's a lot. It's in the thousands. Okay. I mean, to do what I'm doing is,
Are you building the streaming? Because streaming, I mean, building that portion, I know is pretty costly. Are you building that or you said you were partnering up with another company?
Around that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm just paying them. I just sit at home and keep working on streaming. And they walk me through step by step. When they post something new, they send it to me. Okay, are you okay with this? If there's any questions, they call me. I mean, they're fabulous, absolutely fabulous. Okay, let's see.
So let's say things go well with that once you launch, which I'm sure they will. And when you go further, I mean, what do you think is the even longer term vision that you see, especially since the industry is changing? You're seeing a lot more of this, this live experience seems to be a lot more popular. But where do you hope to take it, or what do you think you want to do after this?
I honestly, and I know this sounds funny, but I'm going to be Madam Sammy. I'm going to be the one controlling all the girls, teaching them, flying to their states, flying everywhere to get them to where they can be independent, make money. And I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm 40. I can't do this forever. So I need to get my ground level, or my foundation just built as solid as I possibly can, and grow and grow and grow and have all my girls. And what I would love to do within the next 2 years, I'm going to have a very nice house, and then on my bottom floor will be where all my girls can stay. Because there's lots of girls that don't have, they have no place to live now.
Yeah. It's tough to do it if they live, especially if they're younger at home.
Right. And I mean, there's a lot of women that they just can't afford it, and they're having so many financial difficulties, and they want to start their business, and they can't. I mean, I've had girls come over here and actually work out of my spare bedroom, or I let them borrow my room and work because they don't have anywhere to go to work. So I mean, I just pay it forward to every single person I can because it always comes back. It might take a while, but it does come back.
Well, I think it's fascinating too. I think it's definitely different talking to someone who is older as a cam model than some of my younger guests. I mean, not to say there's anything wrong with it. It's just I think the mentality is different, and their motivations are definitely different, right? Because like you said, I have to make rent payment. I help fund my kids' college tuition, all these little things, which normally someone who doesn't have a kid, doesn't have attachments like that, doesn't even have to worry about.
Yeah, that's, no offense to the younger girls because I do hire younger girls, but it is mentality.
And maturity, right? And how to deal with people and being upfront. I mean, that's something that you learn just through experience. That's something even I notice in my life. Like, you're uncomfortable just like approaching that subject, but then as you get older, you're like, hey, I just got to talk to him. I just got to be direct. It's going to save myself so much more headache down the road.
I think being in the restaurant industry for as many years as I was, I mean, because I've done management positions, and I've had to be in that position where you have to look at someone and say, I'm sorry, but you're just not working out. Yeah. And it sucks. I mean, it's especially when it's their only job and their only means of income. And the same thing with this. I mean, you just have to look at a girl and say, I'm sorry, it's just not working out for you. Maybe in a couple of years, or so that kind of sucks.
So, do you think I'll kind of explore other ways. If you want to be a good webcam model, is there a type of like regular job that can help train you to do well in webcamming? Because it seems like restaurant, like especially bartending. I mean, you're dealing with customers.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, not only do you have to deal with other workers, but I mean, I know bartending. You go to bars, you get regulars, you get these random guys, you get obnoxious guys, you get.
Oh yeah, and it's always about sex.
Every guy's dream is to pick up the bartender. I know.
Right?
Hook me up, or at least hook me up with free drinks.
Exactly. That is so funny and so true. Oh my gosh, and that. Oh yes. Lived that experience once many times.
So do you think it helped you to be a better webcam model?
Completely, because I've been in customer service since I was 15. My first place I worked at was Little Caesars Pizza.
Little Caesars.
Yeah, so I've been in the food industry for years and years and years, and never in a million years thought my niche was webcamming. Never. It's just so funny. I think back, and I even talk to people still in Skagit County, and I'm just like, did you guys think that 2 years ago I would be where I'm at in San Diego, freaking working on the webcam and doing as well as I'm doing, going and signing pictures in New Jersey? Really? Who would have thought? I'm sure as hell wouldn't have. At 40 years old, maybe 30, but not 40. But I'm going to keep going.
No, it's really exciting, and I think after you launch your site, I really want to get you back a couple months after it goes, so we can actually see how it went. But
for sure.
I really appreciate your time you spent with us. What's the best way for people watching this to keep in contact with you?
Oh, right now, definitely on my Twitter, SammyBrooks69, and then the website, SammyBrooksXXX.com. We'll be launching the week of Thanksgiving, so yeah, come on in, I'm ready.
And again, so yes, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
You're awesome. Thank you, dear.
Thanks for watching this episode of Elm Avenue. If you enjoyed this episode and want to check out more episodes, be sure to check us out at elmavshow.com. If you want to keep up with more updates, follow us on Twitter at Extra Lunch Money. And finally, if you're looking for some custom adult products, don't forget to check out extralunchmoney.com. Make sure to check us out, and we hope to hear from you. Bye now.